My sister Picola. I met Picola in person. A wonderful, wonderful black woman. God bless you, sister. Pamela Coakley. Hello, Dr. Boyce B1 chat. Kendall Green. Good to see you. Harlem World. Very nice. Ruffin Cat. How are you and your family? We're doing very well, thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Gregory Burns and Nellie Boston. Let's see. Linda out of Philly. Bam from Dallas. Well, I hope you'll come by. We're going to be in Dallas on the 19th. So if you'd like to join us for the next Black Wealth Training Camp, it's going to be the last one we're going to do for a while. It's going to be in Dallas on the 19th of May. So if you'd like to join, just go to my website, boycewatkins.com. The information is all there. And also, you can take a look at some of the other stuff we have going on. All right. So, yeah, so today I really wanted to jump into we're going to read Powernomics, right? We're going to start at page 205. As you guys know, every single week we've been reading Powernomics and reading Black Labor, White Wealth. We're almost done. We're on page 205. I think the book ends at about page 250, so we're getting pretty close to the end. We've been doing this for a couple years. Some of you have asked how to get the recordings of all the stuff that we've done, all the trainings. You can go to actually drboycebookclub.com, drboycebookclub.com, and you can get access to every single training we've done on all the Powernomics books, all the Black Labor, White Wealth books, everything else. And also, Chanel should be in the chat, and she can give you some links and stuff if you're interested in anything else that we have going on or anything that's happening. The All Black National Convention is October 20th. Allblacknationalconvention.com if you want to get your passes there for that. And we're very close to signing our agreement with our hotel. It's going to be in Atlanta, October 20th. So mark that on your calendar. And I look forward to seeing you all at the convention. And last but not least, you guys know we have talked about the need for black people to have a bigger stake in the entertainment industry. And I'm talking about black people who really care about black people, who put black people first, be one people. Not just ordinary black people. We're not just average Negroes, and we have some really cool things happening. Number one, we have made a movie called B1 the Movie, literally directed by Rick Mathis, and that's coming out. We're going to show that at the convention. It's really good. I put some clips on my Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins, so we're working very hard on this film. Excuse me, and we've put together our budget, and we're going to make sure this film is seen by 1 million people. So this is going to be a blockbuster film. We're going to bring it to you. I will be telling you guys all about it. And what else is happening? I guess that's pretty much everything for now. So the convention and the film and everything else that's going on. Oh, another thing I forgot. This is another thing. I spoke the other day to anybody know Victory Boyd. Victory Boyd and her family, Infinity Song. They're signed by Rock Nation. Jay-Z signed John Boyd, his children. They're kind of like the new Jackson Five. Jay-Z heard Victory sing, and he signed the entire family. He signed. Now tell me how cool that is. He signed 5 of John Boyd's kids, like right there on the spot. So they have this group called Infinity Song, and their company is the Peace Industry Music Group. And what they're doing is they're taking over the music industry. They're going in, bringing B1 culture into the music industry at a very high level. Victory has won Grammy Awards. She actually wrote several songs on Kanye West's album Jesus is King. I believe that's what it was called, Christ is King or something like that. And she has a new album out, so I hope you all will go and check out their new album. And they're doing artist development workshops. And I introduced John to Akila Nihonda, which many of you have seen. She performed at our convention. Now Akila's blowing up. She's been seen by millions of people. I think she's going to be the next big rapper, and she's part of a growing group of artists that they're developing. So when I talk to you guys about the industry and I talk about some of the things that we've seen. One of the things I want you to know, I want you to understand what the motivation is behind our desire to get into movies and film or sorry, film and movies, same thing, right? Movies and music and everything else. It's because I'm just getting sick of the tragedies. You know, I'm getting sick of the sad stories, right? I watched this weekend, and this relates directly to Powernomics because you know who owns these industries. Typically, white people, Jewish people, etc. Nothing against them. This is not anti anybody. This is just very pro-black, and I know that that offends people. Just loving yourself is offensive to people. But I watched this documentary this weekend about Whitney Houston. It was a movie. It wasn't a documentary. It was a what they call it, a cinematic, theatric representation of Whitney's life. Did anybody see it? Give me a yes if you saw it. It was called "I Want to Dance with Somebody." Did anybody see? Did anybody see that film? The film's called "I Want to Dance with Somebody." And in this film, Whitney Houston, they go through the life of Whitney Houston basically, and they show where Whitney started off in her church. Her mother Sissy was apparently a really great artist herself, and got Whitney already, got her, really prepped up, primed up, prepared for Clive Davis. So Clive Davis swooped in, scooped her up because he saw a cash cow, right? And the thing is that we know that black entertainers are a cash cow, and the problem is, they become a cash cow for everybody else, but they don't actually end up benefiting the black community. So you saw where Whitney gets discovered by Clive Davis. And remember, this relates directly to Powernomics. We've been reading Powernomics, but I like to take the book stories and remind you of real life examples. Dr. Anderson talks about black people's dominance in entertainment in terms of our talent. Our talent is just through the roof in entertainment and sports. We have to own some of that. We must own a piece of that. So Whitney gets discovered and adopted by Clive Davis. So remember, Whitney had a mother. Whitney already had a father. Whitney had people in her life that knew what they were doing, but she needed this white daddy to come along and give her what she needed to go to that next level, right? Because we all want to go to the next level. We dream about sending our kids to the next level. Well, you saw what happened with Whitney, right? She goes to Hollywood. She becomes super famous. She becomes the number one best-selling artist, of all time around the world, whatever, bigger than the Beatles. And then next thing you know, she's on the decline. Next thing you know, she's in the culture. And y'all know that culture. That culture is one that involves the drugs and the bad choices and everything else. And next thing you know, Whitney is dead at the age of 49. People don't naturally die at the age of 49 typically. They typically live another, 25, 30 years, especially women. So Whitney, she got the dream, but that dream turned into a nightmare. And I think that it's because of the culture. There's a culture war. If you look at how many black men and women have gone off to Hollywood and into the music industry and just lost their minds, lost their souls, lost everything, lost their lives, you will know that what they do is they come in, they mine our talent, just like they're digging up diamonds in Central Africa, and they take it out to Hollywood. Next thing you know, they send you back something different from what you actually gave them. You gave them a child with good values, good intelligence, good choices, and they come back a drug addict or a sex addict, or they're into some weird culture, highly weird culture, as you might call it, and or they're doing things that don't make any sense. Well, why? Well, because it's all about the glitz and the glamour and the money and everything else. So basically, black people, black entertainers, black talent is a cash cow for everybody except black people. Whitney Houston is not the only tragic example in the entertainment industry. You've got other examples. You look at what happened with R. Kelly. R. Kelly, came out of the church too. R. Kelly ends up going out into this world. He's getting all this money, all this women, all this power, all this fame. Then next thing you know, R. Kelly's making bad choices, and these choices are being enabled by an industry that doesn't think that stuff's so bad, right? They think it's okay. Well, you only slept with a couple of 12-year-olds, so we can look past that because he can sing so good. I remember going to what was it, the Rainbow Push Coalition convention, and there was a guy there. I was going to the bathroom, and it was 2002, and it was right after R. Kelly got busted the first time. It was right after R. Kelly got seen on video with some child. And for a while, the industry was pretending to be righteous and boycotting him. But the Chicago radio stations, they only boycotted a couple of weeks, and then the big stations started playing him again. And I remember I was sitting in there in the bathroom, and I was, standing, using it, washing my hands, talking to a guy. He happened to be an executive at the largest black radio station in Chicago. And I remember I said, guys, that stuff with R. Kelly, something else, ain't it? He said, yeah, it is something else. And then I think I said something like, yeah, but he's pretty talented. He said, yeah, he is talented. We had to get him back on the radio. He's so talented. He's so talented. And I remember feeling really bad about that conversation. I remember feeling like, wow, is that all that matters? Like his talent. I remember BET right after R. Kelly got caught the first time when he really needed help. When I think good people in his life, when our people would have said, look, man, you can't keep doing this. We're going to take you to a therapist. We're going to take you to some sort of center or something to detox and fix your life. Instead they were sort of looking at it like I remember BET gave him a bigger platform. They literally gave him the biggest performance at the award show. He wasn't just invited, he was the keynote performer. Like he had a 15-minute set. I'll never forget that. So to some extent, this culture is toxic because it's not just a financial drain on the black community, but it's also very harmful because it destroys people's lives. DMX should be alive right now. DMX should be alive and he should be a billionaire. DMX should be alive. He should be a billionaire. Tupac should be alive. He should be a billionaire. This industry destroys people, right? So ultimately, the reason I love what John Boyd is doing with the Peace Industry Music Group is because he brought Victory. He knew Victory is going to be big. She's a little bit like Kanye in the sense that Kanye is Kanye, so Kanye is a little bit different. But one thing that they have in common, though, is that the same way Kanye knew he was going to be big one day, Victory's father said she's going to be very famous one day. You know, she's already been signed by Jay-Z. I need her to know who she is, and I need her feet rooted in the ground before she blows up. That's why I brought her to your event, Dr. Boyce. That's why I wanted her to meet you, because I want her to remember this is who she is, this is where she's from. So even in the short amount of time that Victory has been in the industry, she's had those battles. There was a time where she was going to sing at the opening game for the NFL. It was a nationally televised game. She was going to sing the national anthem at a game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. It was the first game of the season, nationally televised, and she took a stand. I think it had to do with the jabs, and they said, well, you have to get the jab, and she said, well, can I wear a mask? And they said, no, you got to get the jab. She said, well, can I take a test? They said, no, you got to get the jab. She said, well, can I just socially distance and wear a mask and take the test? They said, no, you can't do that. You got to get that shot. She said, no, thank you. She had no problem walking away from the money because she said, "Oh, that money's God did not intend for me to have that money, so it's okay. I'm going to move on to something else." So really, to me, what's really awesome is that I hope you will support those people that are out there really going into those spaces that are really trying to represent you. When we're making these films, that's what we're trying to do. We're creating a film industry. We're planting the seeds for that. We're going to invest heavily to make sure we're going to lose money on this movie. We're okay with losing money on this movie, but we believe people need to see this movie, so that's why we're going to make sure 1 million people see this movie. John Boyd isn't making a lot of money developing artists right now and stuff like that. Yeah, he's got the connection with Rock Nation, but that money doesn't come in until you've proven certain things. And so he's doing these things on his own dime as well, developing artists like Akila Nihonda, who I told you she's gonna I put it on everything. In 3 years, you're gonna know all about her because this lady is so good at what she does, and I encourage you to go look her up because we have to support this. Okay, so that's my spiel about this. I'm really tired, to be honest with you. I'm tired of seeing other people make money off of our demise. I'm tired of people chewing us, our young people out, and chewing them up, and then spitting them out, and then they just start over with somebody else after your child is dead. They go get another one. In fact, I knew somebody who was a distant relative who got a great opportunity of a lifetime when he was 15 years old to go on the road with a major singing group. He grew up, he came out of the church too. Again, think about this. This is interesting, right? The church is a place that's supposed to give you these good values, these rock solid values that are going to help you live a solid quality life. I'm not talking about all the churches and all the bootleg pastors and all. I'm talking about the real churches with really good intentions to really create good black people. Well, he came out of the church, so he sang so well at the church. Again, just like Whitney, he got discovered. Once he got discovered, they scooped him away. See, pay attention now. They can come in your community and scoop away your most talented assets. Can you go into a Jewish community and scoop up? And do you ever hear about black men just hanging out, at the synagogues looking for the next talented kid that they can scoop up and take away to the hood or to the black? No, no. So this is an exploitation process, right? This is my friend Damon Dash used to use the term culture vulture. And it's like a vulture. You're swooping in, grabbing what you want, and then you fly off into the sunset. So these Jackie Robinson-esque events occur every year, all the time, everywhere. They set up entire training camps in your neighborhoods just so they can find out if your son is the next LeBron or your other son is going to be the next NFL superstar or your daughter is going to be the next Whitney Houston. And when they scoop them up, they take them to places where they get distracted and addicted to bright, shiny objects and all these sort of dopamine inducing activities. And then when they're ruined and destroyed because there's no guardrails put on them, they end up just dropping them back off in the hood. So this distant cousin I had an opportunity to go sing with a group. He was in the church, like Whitney. They discovered him just like Whitney. He goes off to L.A. to go on tour, and his mother's ecstatic because again, the mother's an enabler too, right? The mother had also fallen for the dream. A lot of the R. Kelly victims had mothers and fathers who were like, "Oh, you better go sit on his lap, go talk to him, go backstage with him," right? You know what I'm talking about. It takes a village to destroy a child. It takes a village to destroy a child. So this is not just the Clive Davises. This is everybody working together in unison because we're all addicted to the fame and the fortune. We think the bright lights and white people giving you lots of money somehow means you're going to automatically have a better life. So his mother, you get by into a dream, trusts him and sends him off to LA. I think that there was a black person that actually was the liaison, but you know who really owns the music industry. This is not owned by black people. He goes on the road. I'm not making this up. This is a true story. This really happened in my own family. He comes back at the age of, so on the road, he sees some of the guys in the group, and they're all sitting in a room huddled around the table. And he's like, "What are y'all doing over there?" And they said, "Oh, well, this is cocaine." And instead of doing what I would expect black men to do, if you're a drug addict, instead of saying, "Hey, you don't know nothing about this, boy, go and get out of here, don't do what I did," right? That's what I had guys like that around me who said, "Don't do what I did." Those are some of the best teachers. I don't know if y'all had teachers like that too, but those are the best teachers that say, "Don't do what I did." They didn't do that. They said, "Hey, you want to try?" So they introduced him, just like with DMX. They introduced him to drugs at the age of 15. Now, let me tell you how this story ends. This story does not end with him having platinum and gold albums. It does not end with him having $100 million in the bank. It does not end with him winning Grammys and Oscars and all that. You know how the story went? At the age of 45, he was going to jail because he robbed a gas station to get money to buy more cocaine. At the age of 45. At the age of 45. He literally went and robbed a gas station to get cocaine. So my point is to say that that you guys